What on earth are these pro players doing? Are we really dry swinging through smokes? Not clearing corners? And no coming? Listen, pros are humans too. But when it's your job to play Valorant at the highest level on the planet, some of these mistakes are just inexcusable. Even you guys can do better than this. Today, we're breaking down 3 of the biggest trolls from Champions 2023. Team comps in this game are a lot like the human body. Controllers are the heart. Without them, the team is dead. The sentinels are like your ears and nose, telling you information about your surroundings. And the initiators are the brain. They tell the duelists, which are your arms and legs, what to do and where to go. But now, let's see what would happen if, just like my ranked teammates, the brain were to get a little silly and jump out of the head and toss itself into the dumpster. So we have ourselves an overtime stalemate between the 2 best Chinese teams in professional Valorant. In this potential elimination map, every decision needs to be thought out meticulously and have purpose behind it. One wrong step, and you could be the reason why your team gets sent home from champs. EDG start in a 1-1-3 default, but with the spike over on A and stars for mid. It looks like they're planning on ending in an A split through vents. Now Billy have their 2 biggest stall agents in mid to contest any aggression. Kong and Nobody are going to have to be really careful when taking the space, especially with only 2 of them here. BLG start the round with a Sky Flash to clear out A main, but all of the attackers are hiding, so the bird doesn't go off. Cypher immediately picks up his sight trapwire and repositions it to hold this entire third of the map. But at the same time, Nobody has started his mid take. He's fake flashed and swung with confidence, and Kong has roombed into B main, spotting nothing. Now, after applying pressure B and mid, the A players are still tucked away and are waiting for these 2 to get closer to vents. If they start their push too early, the spacing won't be there with their mid teammates. But as they scale up, they're locked out behind this big poison orb. How is Nobody going to deal with this?
He's still going, he's still walking. Nobody, that was a bit out there.
He walked through the smoke. EDG's only initiator just decided to send it through Viper's biggest stall tool. Now, don't get me wrong, taking mid on split is important, but it's a trade-off of utility. When the defense uses stall in this area, you have to match it out with something of your own. Is there a sage wall? Shoot it down and send your dog through. Did they break it and slow orb you in response? Use the clock and wait it out. Your goal is to come out on top of this utility battle, because once the defense is out of stall, they'll fall back to sites and set up in a wide variety of different crossfires. Then you're free to do whatever you want. But you have a bunch of different options to deal with all of this in mid. So please, whatever you do not push through it dry thinking you're the main character with plot armor. Mid is built to be a natural crossfire for defenders, and it's your job as the attackers to break this crossfire, push the defense back, and come out on top of this ability trade-off. But now, EDG are left without an initiator to push through any of this stall in mid, and Kong already used his Moombot in B main. How are they going to get back into this round? So with mid being taken out of the equation, it's now up to the A players to find the equalizer. They walk up and snap Cypher Strapwire, pop their ramp and a Heaven Smoke, and try to push out to site. But the attackers don't feel safe going out without a flash, especially while getting sprayed down. Their plan C is to go up ramp and try to pinch Heaven with Kong, who is able to lurk up mid after dodging this Boombot. But the defense don't need it anymore. Without the threat of being flashed, Billy can just anchor down sights and hold their smokes. The defense hits EDG with a snakebite, another smoke for A main, and the attackers need to find something.
Ooh, okay.
The offense are just walking around at this point trying to take aim duels. But with all of this utility left, they're not going to find good ones. Yosemite even spams Howdong through the smoke, and with time winding down, they had no choice but to walk right into a loss. It all came down to this one careless decision. Oh, and trust me, the rounds get even worse than this. Now, do you ever have those moments when you're playing Valorant and you kind of just, I don't know, fall asleep at the wheel? Like you're playing, but you're not actually there. You might be thinking about what's for dinner, your significant other, or what the next step of your game plan is. You're so focused that you forget to do the little things in the game, like clearing corners, or you'll do it, but without purpose. Pros do this too, but sometimes it could throw their games. Energy just won the pistol round, forcing BLG to save this round. But they have a couple shorties and frenzies that can do massive damage if gone unchecked. Their plan is to force stack towards B, while their Cypher plays for information on A. When you have bad weapons, taking 50-50 gambles like this is a solid option. Now, NRG's plan is to take mid control in their 1-3-1 default. They start with 2 stars in mid, allowing them to play mind games with the defense, giving them a ton of options. They can take vents, flush out mail, use them as a gravity well for quick takes. These stars have a lot of potential uses. But after realizing that they're not being used right away, Yosemite slots himself into mail and forms a bait setup with his rays. NRG flash in events. The bird tags nothing, and then they smoke off mail to break up a potential crossfire. But now, after losing this vent space, Knight is pushing up on A to try and solidify his team's stack. He spots FNS, but neither of them land their shots. Knight runs away, but FNS is running him down. But now Victor has started his mail take.
Comes through in his favor, but
They didn't clear diligently.
FNS caught Knight, but Victor didn't clear his close right. But now Crashies is taking B main.
Control. This then pulls in YZ, but again, look at again, another punishment!
These 2 corners that NRG didn't clear are now 2 potential weapons that the defense can pick up. Now YZ has stopped his rotate back to A and is headed back into heaven, knowing that Artis has to either run into his shorty or give up the fallen stinger.
Gee, come on! Gotta be sharper than this. A couple of chances made here, but YZ should be. Oh dear!
Now that's a phantom for the defense, but FNS has found an opening through A site and is wrapping all the way through spawn and then is making his way through heaven to backstab any defenders. Som just has to stay alive and buy him some time to get over there.
About timing, Som didn't quite see it, I don't think. Maybe expecting
left.
it. YZ.
No.
The timing! No way! That's the spike down!
The spike is down, and FNS now only has 20 seconds to grab it and plant.
And IGL will be caking themselves for FNS with his work cut out here, and YZ in a very tricky angle. Not again!
Now, yes, Som got unlucky with his timing, but had NRG properly cleared their angles, him and FNS never would have been in this situation. You just gotta be more careful. Yo, how much did you hit Jet for? Did you hit him? Hello? Dude, he was one shot. Why didn't you say anything? Yes, even pros can have bad communication. In this game, EDG have won the pistol, which is forced Loud onto a save. Their plan is to try and stack a site based on early information that they've received. Did your recon tag a couple in B main? Hurry up and stack B. Did you jump spot and see 3 people on A? Well, come over and reinforce ASAP. Now, EDG are starting in a standard 3-2 default, where these guys are safely applying pressure A to manipulate that said stack before grouping up back to hit B. So to do so, Smoggy flashes and Haodong runs forward but teleports backwards. Doing so gives Loud the sound cue that Omen TP'd, but their knife clears out the potential threat quick. Now the defense know that Omen started here, so there's a chance that the attackers are out there, even if the knife tagged nothing. So a few seconds later, while the attackers are headed B, Tui's jump spots and sees nothing. And as soon as that happens, you already see a shift in the defense. Sova, Killjoy, and Jet all funnel into sight and all pick a spot waiting for the offense to run into them. And that's exactly what's happening. EDG walk into main, prep the utility, and you won't believe what happens next.
Doug. And 2 of them still haven't joined on the side. If they can find a timing to pop out from the smokes, this could be everything. They've got a flash that they can swing out with. Kawanzine able to hold the first with the work falling, and then you see the kills just trading back and forth. Kong pushing forward, 3K on the round for him, but unaware of where Les is. And of course it would be a last round if he can pull this off. 1 bullet, 1 target. Can it deliver? Les on the snap, and no. Smoggy drops him. EDG get a second.
The stack almost worked. Loud were getting hosed down on their way in, and it came down to Les in a 1 versus 3. Unfortunately though, this is where someone messed up. If you look closely, before Les takes down Kong, he takes a shot at lane and bodies Smoggy for 55, which puts him down to 19 HP. But before that shot, he was already at 74. On his way in, Smoggy was getting blasted from lane, spawn, but no one talked about how much damage they did to him. Yeah, okay, Teets, what's the big deal? Well, had they though, Les would have known he was 19 HP after that body shot on lane. So then in this final boathouse duel, Les's crosshair would have been lower to aim for a body shot instead of trying to land a headshot. Now, you might think that this is a stretch to call this a mistake with all the commotion going on and being on LAN, but with so much time passing in this 1 versus 3, there's definitely time to briefly mention how much you hit people for, or for someone on loud to figure it out, especially when a player on his team probably watched him land that body shot on lane. Regardless, what would have been a pivotal thrifty in favor of loud ended up being an anti-eco that EDG won by the skin of their teeth. Now, if you guys want to see pros pull off some 2000 IQ plays instead, then check out this video right here.